Good evening and welcome to the Malbank Virtual Open Evening. My name is Mr. Harrison and I'm head teacher at Malbank School and Sixth Form College. And I'm really excited to be able to talk to you tonight about the big decision you've got coming up in terms of choosing where your child goes in September and why I think Malbank is a great choice for you. I'm going to speak to you a little bit first about what makes Malbank special, because obviously there are plenty of schools to pick from, but I think it's really important that I get the opportunity tonight to talk to you about what it is about our school I think makes us a little bit different. Malbank is a school rooted in the heart of the Nantwich community, but it's a community school in the sense that what matters to us is the family feel that it has and the fact that I believe truly that every single child in the school is known and valued. I think it's really important that we have shared goals and expectations, and all of our young people work towards a common aim, which is that they leave us as successful young people, not just academically, but that they leave as rounded individuals too. And it's that sort of community aim and spirit that makes us a special place to be. I think Malbank is also a school that develops a child's understanding that there needs to be rigour, there needs to be challenge, but also that education needs to be fun, because after all, school is about experiences. And we all remember those fantastic moments throughout our school career, as well as the moment when we get our exam results. And it's that balance of the two that is incredibly important. Now, as a dad of three myself, I've recently been through, last year, in fact, the difficult decision of choosing a secondary school. And I know exactly how it feels. And I think, unfortunately, for people watching this video, it's likely that you're feeling a little bit as if this is even more complicated this year, because you're deciding in what is a very strange time. And I appreciate that. What I can say is that what we're trying to piece together for you in terms of the videos and the process of what I'm doing right now and the other bits that we've got on the website, we're trying our best to give you the experience you would have had if you were to come into school. And certainly in terms of the talk that I'm giving you tonight, the content will be very, very similar. But I know it's a roller coaster of emotions, and I know that the thought processes that you go through in terms of going through the tours and seeing the schools and listening to the people mean that you go away and have some very, very important and difficult conversations. Now, what I would say is that when I went through the process of deciding with my daughter, we talked about it. It was very important that she was involved in that discussion, but it was based on a balance of it being somewhere that I felt she would be challenged academically, but that she'd also be nurtured to help her grow as a person. And that is exactly what Malbank offers, because it's a school where we find that balance, but also where we are committed to working together with parents and the student as a collaboration to get to something quite special in the end. Now, one of the things I would expect you to want me to talk to you about is exam results, but we are again in a very, very strange year. What I would say is that education has to be more than just a set of results. And at the end of those 5 years or 7 years, hopefully, if you were to stay through to the end of sixth form, it has to be more than just a list of grades on a paper. Now, obviously, I know that as parents, you're going to want your students to do as well as possible academically, and I want that for them too. And, we do have that shared vision that they will achieve fantastic things and go away with great grades to give them the next steps for their life. But education is an experience. It's a journey of growth. It's in my opinion, it's far more important that both things are grasped together and that young people leave us with strength, braveness, and resilience actually to handle what life throws at them. Because just as much as it's important that someone goes into the workplace with a fantastic set of results, they also need to be polite, courteous, and respectful, and they need to understand that they have a role to play in society, and that actually that their personal attributes are as equally as important as their academic ones. Now, in terms of exam results, actually, when it comes to the summer, we did very, very well. And while schools will probably not be likely to talk about their actual graded and statistical performances, it's still something that I know as a school we can be very proud of. Malbank's been on a fantastic journey of improvement over the last few years, where we've seen exam results get better and better and better over the last 3 or 4 years. And I actually feel a little bit robbed that we weren't able to evidence that in a traditional way in the summer, because I know that we would have done even better than we'd done before. But nevertheless, what matters most, truthfully, if we're honest about it, is our young people were able to get the results they deserved, and then they've gone on to do special things. And no more so was that in the case of the sixth form, when our outstanding pattern of getting our young people into really good universities and fantastic apprenticeships and next steps was continued again. Now, moving on from that, what I would say is that the school is in a really good position to develop. And although we know we've still got work to do, it's very, very clear to me that there's some key areas that we've already made massive developments in, and that I think, given another year's results, we will be in a position we can be incredibly proud of. And I think that pattern and those years of improvement we've seen over the last 3 or 4 years is something I expect to continue on and on and on. Now, in terms of our curriculum, I think it's incredibly important that our prospective students and parents understand the width and the rich curriculum we have at Malbank in terms of the variety of subjects that you have on offer. At GCSE, we have a mixture of vocational and interesting BTEC subjects alongside your more traditional academic GCSEs. We obviously, as a legacy of it being a performing arts school, we have a wide variety of creative subjects too, such as dance and music. But equally, alongside that, the rigour of the subjects you would expect, such as the separate sciences and obviously English and maths, and the more intriguing subjects that probably you've never done before or have done in really small amounts in primary school, such as DT and media studies as well. I think the key is that alongside that, you realise that at secondary school, there's the option for quite a wealth of extracurricular provision too, and that we have lots and lots of clubs that run after school, and we equally have trips that go all over the world. We've been to Tuscany to do an art trip. We've been to Cambodia as well. So the options are pretty endless. And what I would say to you is that secondary school is as fantastic as you make it. We will give you the opportunities to embrace secondary education and to make the absolute most of it. And I challenge every single person to make the most of their education, because by grabbing it and seizing it and making it what you want it to be, then you get the absolute best out of it. And one of the things I've been pushing staff and students at Malbank to take on board since I started as head in September is that they make the 60 matter. This is the phrase I've been using as a sort of mantra continuously. The idea that we absolutely seize every minute of every lesson we have, because only by doing that can we look ourselves in the mirror at the end of the day and be proud of what we've achieved. And my teachers are being given the message to make sure that we operate at a level which means that every single lesson matters, that there's no lost time, and that the young people, I'm motivating them to make sure that they too step up and seize that initiative. Because let's be honest, time is precious, and no more so than in the last sort of 6 months, we've realised that lost time is something that can make a real difference. And at Malbank, we have tried incredibly hard to build back with our young people upon their return, to make the most of what we have and ensure that they actually are able to recover from what has been a really tough time in education. So I've been asking my staff to be really careful in thinking about the gaps that they need to plug, the work that they need to do to make that 60 minutes matter every single day. But more important than that, obviously, as well, is that we've put a lot of work in place to make sure that Malbank is an incredibly safe site where people can come and get on with their learning without any fear of coronavirus. And I would hope that if you had the opportunity to speak to anyone in school, or you're lucky enough to have a brother or sister as well, that you would know that they feel very, very comfortable, and that it's been an incredibly smooth transition back into what has been undoubtedly a confusing time in education. Now, it's easy for me to sit here tonight and tell you exactly why Malbank's a brilliant place, and you'd expect no less, because I'm the head teacher. And I think it's one of those things whereby listening to me and taking on board everything I've got to say is good, and I know you would want to hear it, but I absolutely urge you to watch the other videos that we've got on our website, particularly of our young people, because for me, student voice is absolutely at the centre of what Malbank does, because Malbank does care about every single individual child and their views. And student voice has been central to what we've done for a very long time. We don't make any appointments in school that are not vetted and considered by student bodies. They have a really, really rigorous part to play in that, including my own one. And I remember that particular interview panel very, very well. And I think that by listening to their views, those undiluted views that they're going to give you about what they think about the Malbank experience, you get a better picture than you could from any member of staff, because they've lived it, they've felt it, and they know what it is to be a part of our community. I'm utterly convinced that coming to Malbank is the right choice for you. And I know that if you commit to joining us, that you will be joining a school that will meet your expectations, will help you to learn, and you will achieve great things. But as I said, it's important that you make the right choice for you and your child, or if you're a young person, that you're thinking about what fits best for you. And I think if you balance out everything that Malbank has to offer in terms of pushing you academically to achieve the very, very best, asking you to maximise yourself and take every opportunity that you can, alongside the fact that we want school to be an experience that is fun enjoyable and memorable too, then I hope you can come to the conclusion that actually this would be a fantastic place for you to come and learn. It's a key decision, and I appreciate the difficulty of it, and that this year is even more strange than usual. And I really do thank you for taking the time to watch my video tonight and for listening to what I've had to say about the school. It's clearly a place I'm very passionate about. I came here as a student myself. I met my wife here. It's a school that means an enormous amount to me. But more than that, it's a school that I believe in. And I hope that you will come along, join us, and believe in it too. If you've got any questions that you would like to ask, please email the admin team at admin@malbank.cheshire.sch.uk. Also, you might want to follow us. My Twitter account is @MalbankHead, and that's a really good way of getting up-to-date information about the school and what is going on. I hope you have a fantastic evening or day or wherever you are at the moment. And as I said, please take time to think about what Malbank has to offer and really, really embrace the fact that this is a school that can do special things for you. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great evening.